You looked in the mirror this morning and something felt wrong. The cut was short. The cut was neat. And yet, your face looked heavier, older, somehow smaller. That is not your imagination. And it is not your face. It is the cut. Most women over 60 who wear a Pixie think they chose it for freedom, for ease, for elegance. What nobody tells you is that 4 specific mistakes inside that cut are quietly working against everything your bone structure is trying to do for you. One of them is adding at least 5 years to how your face reads from across a room. And most stylists will never say a word. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women, so you get simple, proven transformations that work immediately. Today we're covering 4 pixie cut mistakes women over 60 should avoid. And by part 3, you are going to want to pause this video and look in the mirror. I mean it. Part 1 opens with the mistake I see on nearly every woman who walks into a salon asking for a pixie. And it is the one doing the most damage before she even sits in the chair. Part 2 has a fix so counterintuitive that the first time I heard it, I genuinely did not believe it. Part 3 is the one most women find hardest to hear, but every woman I have shared it with has thanked me. And part 4 closes with the single swap that changes everything about how a pixie reads on a mature face. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1. The length mistake that flattens your face. There is a moment, and you may know exactly what I am talking about, where you walk out of the salon with your fresh pixie cut, and something just feels slightly off. Not wrong enough to go back. Not dramatic enough to name. Just off. That feeling is real. And this is what is causing it. The number 1 pixie cut mistake women over 60 make is cutting the sides and back too short, while leaving no weight or shape on top. The result looks clean in theory, but what it actually does to a mature face is quietly devastating. It pulls the eye downward, flattens the appearance of the cheekbones, and makes the jaw read as heavier than it is. Not because anything about your face changed, but because the proportions of the cut are working against your natural structure instead of with it. This one detail is adding at least 4 to 5 years to how your face reads in every photograph and every face-to-face conversation you have. Most women have been asking their stylists to just keep it tight and tidy for years, without realizing that those exact words are the instruction behind this mistake. Now, here is the surprising truth about why this happens so often. It is not a styling failure. It is a communication failure. When women over 60 ask for a pixie, they almost always bring in a reference photo of a cut that looked beautiful on someone else. What they do not realize is that the cut in that photo was designed for a completely different face shape, a different hairline, and a different bone structure than theirs. The stylist cuts what they see in the picture, not what the face in front of them actually needs. The fix is not complicated, but it requires one very specific instruction. Ask your stylist to leave at least 1.5 inches of length on the crown, and to cut the crown with texture and soft movement rather than pressing it flat. That single adjustment changes everything about how your cheekbones, your eyes, and your jawline read. The crown length draws the eye upward, creates visual lift, and balances the face in a way that no amount of product or styling can replicate. This is the one a friend of mine heard, and immediately called her stylist before she even finished the conversation. If you have been wearing a flat, tight pixie and wondering why it never quite lands the way you picture, this is your answer. Swap the instruction, keep it tight on top for leave lift and texture on the crown. Swap clean it up for add soft movement at the top third. Swap same as last time for show me where the crown length sits before you cut. Those 3 swaps are not complicated. They are just specific. And specificity is what gets you the cut that actually works. One practical tip: bring a photo of your face to the consultation, not just a photo of a cut. Your stylist needs to see your bone structure, your hairline, and your temples to make the right decision about crown length for you specifically. This change alone will shift how every photo of you looks from this point forward. And that is before we even get to mistake number 2. Coming up next, the one swap that takes 30 seconds to explain to your stylist and changes how your entire face reads on camera. Part 2. The texture mistake that ages the cut overnight. Here is something most women over 60 have never heard from anyone in a salon chair. The texture of your pixie cut matters more than the shape. Say that again slowly. because it is easy to move past it without really landing. The texture of your pixie cut matters more than the shape. A perfectly shaped pixie on a mature woman with flat, blunt, textureless ends will always look older, heavier, than a slightly imperfect pixie with movement, dimension, and soft layering built in. And the reason almost no one talks about this? Because most stylists default to blunt cuts on clients who ask for neat and polished. They are giving you exactly what you asked for. But neat and polished without texture is the specific combination that adds years to a mature face. And it does it every single day you wear that cut. This specific choice is visually flattening your natural features and making your hair read as thinner and heavier at the same time, which is a contradiction that only a blunt cut can produce. Now here is the thing nobody in this space talks about plainly enough. Mature hair is not the same as it was at 40. The density changes. The elasticity changes. The way it holds movement changes. And a blunt cut, which works beautifully on thick, dense younger hair, becomes a weight on mature hair that drags the whole face down with it. Point cutting. Razor layering at the ends. Feathering around the temples. These are not extras. These are the techniques that allow a pixie cut to work with your face over 60 rather than against it. Here is the most counterintuitive part. Softer texture on a pixie actually makes it look sharper, more intentional, more deliberately elegant. Because when the ends move, when there is dimension, your face appears inside the cut rather than being framed by a wall of blunt hair. Write this one down. Ask your stylist to point cut every section, and to feather the ends at the temples specifically. Those two instructions will transform a blunt pixie into a cut that reads as effortlessly refined rather than heavily neat. Swap blunt scissor cuts at the ends for point cutting throughout every section. Swap flat temple lines for feathered, softened edges that follow the natural direction of your hairline. Swap leave it neat for add movement and separation at the ends. Those are 3 instructions your stylist can apply in the same appointment with no extra time and no extra cost. One maintenance tip. Ask your stylist to refresh the point cutting every 6 to 8 weeks rather than waiting for a full restyle. The texture is the first thing that collapses as the cut grows out, and keeping it refreshed is what makes the cut look polished every single day in between appointments. The next mistake is the one I see most often, and honestly, the most expensive one to fix if you leave it too long. Part 3. The hairline mistake that frames everything wrong. What I am about to tell you in this part is something most women find the hardest to hear. Not because it is cruel, because it is the one they have been doing the longest, and the one that feels the most invisible until someone finally names it. Here it is. The way your pixie cut is being finished at your neckline, and your hairline is framing your face in a way that is actively aging you. Most women over 60 with pixie cuts are having their necklines squared off, and their hairlines edged sharp and straight. It looks precise. It looks finished. And it is quietly adding years to your appearance every single time you leave the salon. A squared neckline on a mature woman creates a visual box at the base of the head. That box draws the eye down. It shortens the visual length of the neck. And a shorter-looking neck does something specific to how a woman's face reads. It compresses the jaw, flattens the cheekbones, and removes the elongated, refined silhouette that makes a pixie look elegant rather than blunt. This specific finishing choice is shortening the visual length of your neck and taking genuine elegance off the table before you even walk out of the salon. I watched a woman in a salon chair last week. Stunning bone structure, the kind of natural elegance that photographs beautifully, and her stylist was edging the neckline with an absolute right angle. She kept saying she liked it tidy. She didn't realize that tidy and elegant are not the same instruction. That squared neckline was doing more damage to the overall look of her cut than anything else in the appointment. The fix is one word: tapered. Ask your stylist to taper the neckline, to allow the hair to fade and soften naturally as it approaches the base of the neck rather than cutting a sharp, hard edge. A tapered neckline elongates the neck visually. It creates a soft, organic silhouette that flows from the head downward rather than stopping abruptly. The same rule applies to your hairline at the temples and the ears. Soft, natural, graduated edges rather than sharp, edged lines. The sharp edges are designed for younger faces with denser hair. On a mature face, they read as severe rather than polished. Honestly, This was the one piece of information I wish I had heard 15 years earlier. It changes the entire silhouette of the cut, and it does not cost a single extra penny. Swap the squared neckline for a tapered, faded finish. Swap the hard hairline edge near the ears for a soft, graduated line that follows the natural growth pattern. Swap edge it sharp for taper it out. 3 words that change the entire silhouette. 1 practical maintenance note: a tapered neckline grows out more gracefully than a squared one. You will find your cut looking polished for longer between appointments because the natural grow-out follows the taper rather than fighting against a hard edge. There is one thing about Part 4 that nobody in this space talks about. That is next. Part 4. The styling mistake that undoes everything. You have the right cut. You asked for the crown length. You requested the texture. You specified the tapered neckline. And then, every single morning, you undo all of it in 60 seconds without realizing it. This is the mistake nobody talks about. Not the cut itself. The daily styling of it. Most women over 60 with pixie cuts are applying their styling products the wrong way. And the result is a cut that reads flat, pressed, and visually heavy by mid-morning every single day. Here is specifically what is happening. Most women apply mousse or gel directly to the roots, and then smooth the hair down toward the face. That motion, downward, toward the face, compresses the crown, removes the lift, and presses the hair flat against the head. Everything the texture and the crown length were designed to do gets cancelled out in one gesture. This specific styling habit is collapsing your crown lift, flattening your texture, and pressing yours back onto your face before you even leave the house. Here is the truth about pixie cut styling that most tutorials skip entirely. The direction of your hands is the styling. Not the product. Not the tool. The direction. Lift, do not press. Scrunch, do not smooth. Work from the ends upward, not from the roots downward. When you apply any product to a pixie cut on a mature head of hair, the motion should always be upward and outward, lifting away from the scalp, encouraging the texture to open up rather than lie flat. This single change in direction creates more visible volume than any volumizing product on the market. This is everything. And there is one more piece that makes it complete. Most women over 60 are finishing their pixie with a round brush or a flat paddle brush, tools designed to smooth and press the hair down. The right tool for a textured, lifted pixie is a diffuser on low heat or simply your fingers. Your fingers are the best styling tool your pixie will ever have. Scrunch upward from the ends. Separate at the crown with your fingertips. Lift, do not pat down. This is the one a woman told me she heard at 64 and has not used a brush on her pixie since. Swap the downward smoothing motion for an upward lifting and scrunching motion. Swap the round brush for your fingertips and a diffuser on the lowest heat setting. Swap press it neat for lifted open. Because your beautiful bone structure deserves a cut that works for it, not one that fights it every single morning. One final maintenance note. A small amount of lightweight texturizing cream applied to the ends only, not the roots, will hold your pixie's movement and separation without weighing it down. Less is always more. One pump. Ends only. Upward always. You have been one piece of information away from this for a long time. Now you have all 4 pieces. What I'm covering in the next video, most women find it even harder to hear. But it is the one that matters most. You just learned the 4 specific mistakes that most women spend years making inside a pixie cut, and you learned them in one sitting. Crown length, texture, neckline, styling direction, 4 things, 4 swaps, and a face that reads younger, lighter, and more elegantly itself. Boom! Your bone structure was always this stunning. Now it shows. Tell me in the comments. Which of these 4 mistakes were you making without knowing it? I genuinely want to know, because the answer is almost always the same one. And it is never the one women expect. Next time, we are getting into the one color mistake that women over 60 make with their gray and silver hair that adds 10 years overnight. And it is not what you would expect. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.